Chapter 1. Unexpected Betrayal. You are listening at FameTV.info. Chapter 1. It was a bright and sunny day. A red sedan car skidded to a halt in front of a cream building. Its back seat door opened, to reveal the peerless beauty within. A lady in her early 20s stepped out of the car, thanked the rider and closed the door. She wore a blue, knee-high fitted, off-shoulder gown, as well as a pair of silver heels and bag to match. In her simple outfit, she looked particularly stunning. Her face turned worried when she looked at the building in front of her. She brought out her phone from her bag and clicked on the dialed icon. Ring. Ring. No answer. She looked to the side and caught sight of a black car. Without wasting any more time, she made her way to the house. She got to the front door and turned the doorknob, but it was locked. She brought out her key and fumbled with the lock. Click. She turned the doorknob and walked in, closing the door behind her. The lights were on in the living room. She inspected her surrounding. There were 2 glasses of unfinished wine on the center table, and one had a lipstick stain on it while the other, none. Perhaps he had a guest over before and now he is resting. Let me surprise him. She thought to herself internally. Ignoring it, she made her way upstairs to his bedroom. Ah. Ah. Yes, faster. Oh. Ah. Right there. That's the spot, keep pounding me hard. Gosh, ah. Creak. The bed moving continuously under the assault on top of it echoed in the entire room as they went on. The sweet sounds of a woman and a man drowning in ecstasy reverberated in the entire room. Plap. Creak. Each thrust given and met, with the slamming of flesh, brought a creaking sound to the poor bed as their moans echoed louder. Their labored breathing and panting could be matched with their erroneous exercise. Their bodies glistened and dripped as they bathed in their own sweat. Oh. Baby more ah. I am close, harder mmch. Erg. If you keep talking like that, I can't resist the urge to dive into your depths. Ah. I am close as well. I don't care, give it to me. Ah, yes. Faster and harder he went, yielding to her every need and want. He leaned down and captured her lips in a hungry kiss. One hand held her left leg up and the other moved down between them, where their flesh united to rub on her swollen butt. He released her lips and continued moving his hips. Oh. I'm. She couldn't form any coherent words as her mind went blank. Aha. Kaminin. Bang. The door slammed open, but neither of them heard as they rode out their high, completely oblivious of the intruder. Duan Tian. The couple stopped what they were doing and turned their heads at the deafening scream of the lady behind them. Her mouth hung agape at the sight in front of her. She had never expected that the girl below him would be none other than Li Xiu. She exclaimed. She couldn't believe what just happened. Her sister and her fiancé, sleeping with each other. Ha. Rather than being shocked at the intruder, both of them burst out laughing at her contorted expression. How can you still laugh when you are caught in promiscuous act? Li Jing asked the unconcerned couple as her face reddened with anger. Li Jing, it took you long enough, Duan Tian said before slowly pulling out of Li Xiu, earning a soft arousing moan from her. This action only aggravated Li Jing, who was now standing inside the room, the more. How could you do this? You should be ashamed of yourselves, both of you. She hollered at them, obviously feeling disgusted and irritated by the sight. Seriously now? Li Xiu said sarcastically. Getting up, she wrapped herself with the sheets and made her way to her sister. You didn't really think he'd choose you over me, did you? When she didn't get any response back, she lightly chuckled. Li Jing, you must really think so highly of yourself. How could he marry you, an illegitimate daughter, when I am here? You don't deserve a man like him, you trash. I wish you would just disappear already. Li Xiu. She yelled her sister's name, her vision clouded as her tears threatened to break free from their sockets. You look so pitiful right now, sister. You said you loved me, how could you do this Duan Tian? She asked her fiancé, turning her gaze to him. Love, he scoffed at her, moving close to the sisters. Love is for my darling Li Xiu and not you cheating whore. Whore. Where is that coming from? I have never cheated on you, Duan Tian. You engaged me. We were to have a dinner today. I had long broken up with you Li Jing. Oh, and the dinner message was a mistake my secretary made. That was for Li Xiu. How could you not see that? Drop my keys and leave, you don't just barge in on someone like that, Duan Tian shouted at her as his brows furrowed the more. But she was still in shock at what was happening and could barely utter a word to counter him. Did he stutter? Li Xiu asked her. Leave now before I call the police and have you arrested for trespassing, stalking and breaking in. Duan Tian, how dare you? Suddenly, she found her confidence again and yelled back at him. Li Jing, don't make yourself any more of a sad case than you already are. He can never love a trash like you. I should name you trash whore from now on. Finally, something that suits you. She was very crazed at their endless insult. In anger, she made to slap her sister, but Duan Tian grabbed her arm and gave her a slap in return. She wasn't expecting it from him, so she ended up losing her footing and fell to the ground. You trash. You dare try to hit my future wife. I should have your hands chopped off for that. Get out before I kill you with my bare hands, he threatened, taking a step forward. Li Xiu quickly held his arm as she prevented him from killing Li Jing. Not that it mattered to her if her sister died or not, but not now. She wanted Li Jing to suffer more in life first, that she would beg for death instead. After all, no one would miss a dead illegitimate child. Dear, that's okay. She is not worth you soiling your hands with her trash of a skin. He stopped moving and turned his head to the girl beside him. Anything for my darling, Duan Tian replied her with a loving smile etched on his lips. Li Xiu took 2 steps forward, closing the gap between them and kissed him on his lips. Duan Tian withdrew from her kiss and turned his gaze to Li Jing who was sitting on the floor. Do you still need an invitation out? He bellowed at her. His semi-angry face now fully angry as his eyes became red and his hands clenched into a fist, ready to punch the living daylight out of her. Frightened, she got up and made for the door. By the time she got to the door, she turned her head to look at the couple one last time and said, for this injustice, you shall pay. What good would come out of a trash like you? By the way, pack your things away from that house. As of today, you cease to live in my family home. Li Jing did not bother exchanging words with her sister and left the room. By the time the door closed, she couldn't contain the tears any longer and let them wash over her as she cried her heart out, exiting the building. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.